English Easy Podcast.
Hello, learners. Welcome back to English Easy Podcast, your partner to learning English. I am so glad you're here for this deep dive, especially those of you who are right in the middle of your journey as intermediate English learners.
Absolutely. It is great to have you all listening.
So picture this. You are driving down the highway at like 60 miles an hour. You are navigating heavy traffic, but, and here's the scary part, you aren't actually holding the steering wheel.
Oh, that is a terrifying thought.
Right. Your emotions have completely hijacked the driver's seat. And based on the research we are looking at today, when your emotions drive the car, they don't follow any rules.
No, they really don't.
They speed, they make these impulsive turns, and eventually they just crash your entire day. And this happens at work, at school, or even when you are trying to learn a language.
Which is such a common struggle. But I want to clarify right away that the sources we are looking at today, they are not telling us to just stop feeling things.
Oh, so we shouldn't try to become like cold, unfeeling robots?
Not at all. Emotions are a perfectly fine, healthy part of being human. The real goal here is to make sure that one single flash of frustration or, sudden wave of anxiety doesn't destroy your daily success or your language learning journey.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Because the first major hurdle of the day is what the research calls the morning trap.
Oh, the morning trap is so real.
It really is. You wake up tired, right? You hit the snooze button, then you check your phone and see a really bad text message or maybe a stressful email.
And just like that, your motivation is completely gone.
Exactly. It just runs away like a frightened cat. And the sources use this really great analogy here. Imagine the day has many rooms. You have your work room, your family room, your gym room, your English practice room.
Right.
But just because one light bulb is broken in the morning room, we somehow decide to lock all the other rooms in the house. It's like putting on a dirty, wet jacket when you step outside.
Yeah, a heavy, uncomfortable jacket.
And instead of taking it off, you wear it into your car, then into your office, just ruining the furniture everywhere you go.
That is such a vivid picture. And the psychology behind this, it really comes down to a shift in how we see ourselves. Our sources talk about the difference between being old Jake and new Jake.
Okay, who is old Jake?
So old Jake is that version of you who gives up immediately. You have a bad morning, so old Jake just watches videos, eats snacks, and leaves all the hard work for tomorrow. He pushes it onto tomorrow Jake.
Oh, I have definitely been old Jake before. Tomorrow Jake always has so much work to do.
We all have. But then there is new Jake. New Jake is the mindset where even on a terrible day, you commit to just 10 minutes of work. Just 10 minutes.
Wait, really? Does 10 minutes actually do anything, or is that just a trick?
It is totally a trick, but it works. Because getting started is always the hardest part. And this brings up a great vocabulary word from our research. Relentless.
Relentless. That is a strong word.
It is. Being relentless means you keep going, even when your energy is low. You don't stop. You use that energy to power through.
Power through. So finishing a task, even when it feels super uncomfortable.
Exactly. You just power through those first 10 minutes.
Well, I feel like it is one thing to power through a quiet morning alone in your house. But what happens when you actually step out into the real world?
That is where the real challenge begins, yeah.
Because other people are involved and they can instantly spike your stress levels. Let's move to our second section, which is all about the emotional gym.
I love that term. The sources describe workplaces and schools as big emotional gyms. You are constantly lifting heavy weights, but instead of metal, the weights are other people's opinions, micro-stresses, and pressures.
Right, and people usually handle this pressure in two extremely unhealthy ways. The first one is exploding in the heat of the moment.
Oh, we have all seen this happen in a meeting.
Oh yeah, someone gets criticized and they speak way too fast, their voice gets really high, and they just say things they don't mean, like, you never support my projects.
Yeah, that is a classic amygdala hijack. Your brain literally thinks it is under physical attack.
Yeah.
But the second unhealthy way is just as bad, if not worse.
Bottling up your feelings.
Right, bottling it up. This is when your boss says something small but hurtful, and you just smile and say, oh, thank you so much.
But inside, you are furious. You push all that emotion down until you eventually just go cry in the bathroom.
Exactly. It destroys your mental health over time.
So we need the middle way. For intermediate learners listening, let's actually simulate this. Let's do a quick professional dialogue based on the source text.
Okay, I like this. Set the scene.
So I will be the employee, and you be the boss. We are in a big team meeting under a lot of deadline pressure, and you are going to make a stressful comment about my project.
Got it. I will be the tough boss. Ready. Looking at these numbers, your project is completely behind schedule. I mean, did you even plan this out properly?
Okay, pause. Right there, my instinct is to either scream or completely shrink down and apologize.
Which is completely natural.
Yeah.
But the experts reveal 3 key professional actions to take instead. Number 1, take 1 slow breath.
Just a breath. That feels almost too simple.
It sounds simple, but it gives you 5 extra seconds. It physically stops the panic from taking over your brain. So you breathe, and then you use action number 2, a specific phrase.
Okay, what is the phrase?
You say, very calmly. Can we talk about this after the break?
Can we talk about this after the break? Oh, wow, that is really good. It is respectful, but it sets a boundary.
Exactly. And that leads to action number 3. You must remain composed.
Composed.
Yes, your heart might be dancing in your chest, your hands might be shaking under the table, but your face is smiling and steady. You are composed.
I really like that. Staying composed definitely handles that immediate interaction. But, and I think our listeners will relate to this, what about the lingering doubt?
Ah, yes. The thoughts that keep bouncing around in your head after the meeting is over.
Right. Other people's judgments are heavy.
Which brings us to our third topic, rising above stereotypes.
This is such an important section, especially for anxious speakers or, new employees who are terrified of speaking up. Absolutely, because there are all these unfair stereotypes, like the idea that quiet people can't be strong leaders, or, for our language learners, the awful idea that making an English mistake means you aren't intelligent.
Which is completely false, by the way. Speaking a second language makes you incredibly intelligent.
So what does this all mean for the listener who is just terrified of making a mistake right now? How do they avoid, deleting their career dreams over one bad comment from a coworker?
The strategy here is separating feeling time from decision time.
Feeling time versus decision time. How does that work?
When someone insults you or you feel embarrassed, you are in feeling time. So the method from our source is to physically write the fear down. You write, I am scared of this new project because of my English.
Okay, getting it out of your head and onto paper.
Exactly. And then later, during decision time, you look at the hard facts. Did people understand your main point? Yes.
Yeah.
Does the work get done? Yes.
And then you make a decisive choice.
Right. You are decisive. You use the facts, not the fear.
This reminds me of 2 great phrases from the text. You have to grow a thick skin and rise above it.
Yes, those are perfect. Growing a thick skin means you don't let every single comment dictate your life. You have a protective layer.
And rising above it means staying calm and acting at a higher level instead of fighting people in the comments section or arguing in the hallway.
Exactly. It is about professional maturity.
Okay, this is a massive mindset shift. And to really solidify this new professional and emotional toolkit, we need to practice.
Yes, it is time for the pronunciation and vocabulary practice room.
For this section, we are going completely interactive. We are going to deliberately slow down the pace.
So if you are listening, take a deep breath, relax your shoulders.
We want you to actively participate. We are going to go through the formal professional words from the text. When I tell you to, I want you to actually repeat them out loud and visualize what they mean.
I will give the definition, and then you follow the host's lead. Let's start with our first word, stereotype. An unfair idea about a group of people.
Now, repeat it out loud. Stereotype. As you say it, imagine tossing an unfair idea into the trash. Stereotype.
Excellent. Next word, decisive. This means making clear, firm decisions.
Say it with me. Decisive. Feel how strong that word is. Decisive.
Our next phrase is, in the heat of the moment, acting quickly before thinking, usually when you are angry.
Repeat it clearly. In the heat of the moment.
The next action phrase is, shake it off, meaning to let go of bad feelings.
Okay, say it out loud, but as you say it, I want you to physically imagine shaking water off your hands. Ready? Shake it off.
Oh, that physical movement really helps. Now, the opposite of that is a negative phrase. Bottle up your feelings. This means hiding your emotions inside.
Say it with a warning tone. Bottle up your feelings. Don't do it. Bottle up your feelings.
Next is that powerful professional state we talked about. Composed, remaining calm on the outside.
I want you to say this one very slowly to feel a sense of calm. Composed. Deep breath. Composed.
Beautiful. Next word, resilient. This means falling down but standing right back up.
Say it with energy. Resilient.
Next is self-control. Managing your strong, sudden feelings.
Repeat it out loud. Self-control.
Now for our idioms. Grow a thick skin, building an emotional shield against criticism.
Say it, and imagine strong armor protecting your chest and your heart. Grow a thick skin.
And our second idiom, rise above it. Choosing not to argue, but acting with higher maturity.
Say it and feel yourself acting at a higher level than the drama. Rise above it.
Finally, our morning routine words, relentless and power through. Keeping your momentum even when you feel tired or low.
Say both of these, feeling the power and the momentum in your voice. Relentless. Power through.
That was fantastic. Practicing these out loud actually builds the neural pathways to use them in real life.
It really does. Wow, we have covered a lot of ground today.
Yeah.
Let's wrap up this deep dive with the ultimate takeaway from our sources.
Yes, let's bring it all back together.
It all goes back to that car metaphor. Your goals, your dreams, your English journey, those drive the car. And your emotions, they sit in the front seat with you.
Right, but with a seatbelt on.
Exactly. With a seatbelt. You don't have to be a robot. You just have to be the leader of your own life.
That is the core message. And to help you be that leader, I have a specific homework task for you before you go to sleep tonight.
Oh, homework. I love this. What do they need to do?
I want you to write down one single sentence about your day. And you have to use one of the new words we just practiced.
Oh, like, I was tired today, but I powered through my English practice.
Perfect example. Write it down, and then I want you to actually share it in the comments.
Yes, please do. Putting it in the comments helps you connect with other learners. It makes you feel much less alone in this process.
Really builds community. And before we go, I want to leave you with one final lingering question to ponder on your own.
Okay, give us something to think about.
We have spent this whole time talking about putting a seatbelt on your emotions so they don't drive. But if you start thinking of your emotions as passengers rather than enemies, what valuable directions might they actually be trying to point out to you on your journey?
Wait, that is such a good point. Like, if anger is in the passenger seat, maybe it's pointing out a boundary someone crossed.
Exactly. Passengers can see things the driver misses.
Wow, that is a completely different way to look at it. Well, learners, I want to enthusiastically congratulate you for showing up, for doing the hard work, and for growing today.
You did a great job.
Remember, your progress does not end here. Keep practicing, keep driving, and we will see you on the next deep dive.